Hello everybody, what's up? Moses here, and today we're going to give you the complete guide on the Perma Blast build. Tarasha's plus one Vo. So first part, I'm going to talk about the way that I do speed bounties and speed T10 runs with this build. So let's just jump right into it. The build is based on Tarasha's Wand of Woe. We talked about that in the previous video. You can check that out if you want to know exactly what all the items are doing and how all the build is set up, all the mechanics. But yeah, when it comes to the actual build, we want to proc. I want to proc 3 stacks of Tarasha's elements for 1500% damage increase. Why not 4? You can also run cold, that is true, but I find that the damage that I get from this build is just enough, and I prioritize movement speed over everything. So I do not use Frost Nova with Frozen Mist, I just don't think it's necessary. Yeah, so we're running Arcanaut for Arcane power generation, we're using Surge of Power for the lightning, Chain Reaction for the fire, and Teleport Calamity for the arcane. When it comes to the passive, Illusionist will give you movement speed after teleport, elemental exposure, 4 stacks of 5% increased damage, so up to 20%. I get the 15% because I don't use cold for this purpose. Unstable anomaly because sometimes you won't be immortal. We're using the gold wrap, so whenever we pick up gold, we get armor equal to the amount of gold picked up for 5 seconds. So we practically have gold picked up all the time. Our little pet also makes sure that we have one feature that they changed is those pets will always pick up gold around you, so you always have gold picked up, so you always have increased armor, right? So yeah, there is that. You'll become immortal, but for those few seconds that you're not, sometimes you could get one-shotted. It doesn't feel nice. So unstable anomaly will be there to rescue you. That's pretty much it. Audacity, because the build is close range melee build, so you want the extra 30% damage. Elemental exposure, we talked about that, and illusionist, we talked about that as well. Scramble armor. I'm still kind of like on the fence because like when it comes to this rune, you can alternatively use Power of the Storm or any other armor that you find suitable. Scramble, I think, is pretty good because occasionally you do get melee hit and you do get movement speed, and I do prioritize movement speed above all else. When it comes to the actual items we're running, what are we running? We're running, yes. Warzatchian braces for the extra movement speed, focus restraint because they are really strong. I use the homing pads, especially for those bounties. You know, there's always like this one monster who's gonna interrupt you when you're teleporting out, but with the homing pads it won't. Especially after the ending of a normal rift, you know, there'll be like these monsters and it'll be annoying. This will save you a little bit of time. Alternatively, you can also use pickup radius on corruption, but I don't know, I crafted a couple. I got a pretty decent roll. This is not even rolled. The idea here is that you get the 7 pickup radius, but I would refrain from using that. You can use 1 for the transmog, it's pretty cool. Kind of like it, but you don't have to, because these cost you those bounty crafting mats, and you really want to prioritize reforging and extracting legendary powers, and just the 7 pickup. I don't know, it's a matter of choice. I bring it to you here as an alternative. Of course, when it comes to the cube, you want Ring of Old Grandeur, so you'll be able to equip this set. Man, Sages OP. You'll never run out of death breaths as long as you have Sages equipped. Part of the thing that Wizard makes Wizard really strong this season is that you can use the speed farming build while using Sages without losing any potency or any efficiency at all. So this will pretty much double, but not double really. +1 for each death breath that drops. Increase death breath drop by 1. So elite packs on T10 will drop 3 stacks. You'll sometimes kill 3 elite packs and it'll be like an ocean of death breaths on the ground. You'll never run out of those. People have been talking about 1,000 death breaths per hour. I think it's quite nonsense, but like whatever. I don't care about others. What we are interested in are just the fact that you won't run out of death breaths once you start to use the sages. You will always have more death breaths than what you can spend for re-rolling, for upgrading rares to legendaries. Just farm a few hours of those and you're all set. Nemesis bracers. Oh yeah, and of course the 5-piece. We talked about the Ring of Royal Grandeur, so of course the 5-piece, not the 6-piece, in order to get the bonus of the Talrasha's elements. Nemesis bracers is extremely important. Just use whatever. Just use whatever is better for you, whether it's Nemesis or Warzactian. Right, whatever you drop that is better. I happen to have really good Warzactian, so I'm using those, Nemesis in the cube, but you could do it vice versa. In Geom in the cube, because the build is based on in Geom. Every time you kill an elite pack, it will drop your cooldown by 10 seconds for 15 seconds. So for a duration of 15 seconds, so the moment an elite pack died, you'll have infinite explosive blasts, infinite diamond skins, and infinite teleports. Awesome. So that's what consistently deals the damage. Build is based on explosive blast. Do not try and increase meteor damage. I just happen to have meteor damage over here on the boots, and I couldn't think of anywhere else. So you know, whatever. Got 10%. Talrasha's always comes with meteor damage, but the damage from meteors is negligible. You don't want to use Nil for boosts. You don't need damage. There's a reason why I only use 3 stacks of Talrasha's elements and I'm not using the cold. It's simply I prioritize the movement speed, and the damage is more than enough to destroy T10 and split farming bounties as well. I think we pretty much covered this part of the build. Now let's move on to the second part of the build, Greater Rifts, and how to speed farm and level up all these gems, right? With the new Caldescent's Despair recipe and with the new Empowered Greater Rift option. If you guys don't know, you can pay a certain amount of gold. In this case, Greater Rift 65, it requires 208 million to empower Greater Rift 65. Of course, I'm not going to do it right now. No gameplay in this video, just pure info, good information. Just pure gold, just pure gold. Alright, so you would like to empower your Greater Rifts in order to give yourself another opportunity to increase the gem level, right? To level it up. So instead of 3 gem level ups per Greater Rift, you'll get 4, which is awesome, right? It will save you keys, it will save you time, and you'll just level up an additional time per Greater Rift. So the way that you want to do it is you start with a level 0 gem. Right, and over here I want to say something. There are certain gems that cannot be leveled up past level 50. Certain gems, such as Boon of the Hoarder, rank 50 max. Right? Another gem, Ice Blink, cannot be leveled up by up to level 50. Gogok of Swiftness, maximum level 50. Invigorating Gemstone, level 50. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yes. Yeah, I think the rest of the gems are okay. I'm not sure about Thorns. It's a new gem, and I'm not playing Thorn Crusader. I'm pretty sure you can level this one up infinitely. And also, yeah, the rest of the gems will be able to level up infinitely. This is very, very, very important, because you do not want to get to the point where your level of the gem is maxed, because essentially, if you need it for the utility, that's awesome. You want level 50 Boon of the Hoarder for your Greater Rift and speed farming, that's great. I have one. I use it. Awesome, great. So you level up your first one. But if you're using this build to gem ups, to get those gem ups to sacrifice in the Caldescent's Despair recipe, to augment your gear and get more intelligence or whatever, dexterity, strength, vitality, then you don't want to be using Boon of the Hoarder, because it will max at level 50, and obviously you can do much more. You can do 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s. People are sacrificing some sick legendary gems, but of course that depends on your group, and that's an entire different story. The idea here, do not try and level up these gems and sacrifice them, because then you spent keys, you spent time, and you're stuck at level 50. No good. Instead, use gems like Simplicity, Strength, Zystone, Bane of the Powerful, Wild Beast, Tagok, Pain Enhancer, Efficacious Toxin, Gem of Ease. Gem of Ease? Yeah, I think it's not maxing out at 50. Marinade, etc., etc., etc. Better Trapped, Stricken. These are all gems that can level up infinitely. Alright. So, for that purpose, obviously gold do not drop at Greater Rift. When you have your level 0 gem, you want 100% success at each attempt. You don't want to be wasting time failing at gems, right? You just want to level them all up together. So you'll grab a bunch of gems over here. I grab a bunch of gems over here, right? 7 gems, and I'm leveling them all up. I'm starting at level 13 because level 13 is the minimum Greater Rift that will give you 100% success, and it will cost you the cheapest, and it will be the fastest because it's only 13. It's not like even what is it, Torment 1? I don't even know. I don't care. But what the idea here is that you want to consecutively leveling up your gem the fastest possible. So you'll start and the cheapest, right? You don't want to be spending gold where you don't have to. There's no reason to do level 45 empowered Greater Rifts and level up gems from level 0 to level 4. There's absolutely, it makes no sense. So you start at level 13, it costs you the cheapest amount of gold, and you just increase by 4 because each time you'll level up the gem by 4. So you do bunch of, like in my case, I did 7 Greater Rifts rank 13, then 7 Greater Rifts rank 17, 7 Greater Rifts because I have 7 gems, right? Rank 21, rank 25, rank 29, rank 33, plus 4 each time. You get the idea. Alright, so we covered the whole how to level up the gem the most efficiently. You always empower, so you have 4 attempts to level it up. You would be better doing it with a group. Because, well, it's simply faster. And let's talk about the actual build. So since gold or death threats or any loot does not drop on Greater Rifts, you are going to drop this gem, and instead we have 2 possible gems to use. Wreath of Lightning for the lower Greater Rifts to give you movement speed, right? On those 13, 17, 21 you'll need movement speed. When it gets a little higher, you'll need more toughness. So the build will slightly adjust, and the gem, instead of the Wreath of Lightning, you also use Esoteric Alteration. I have this from my primary wizard, right? The one that I've been pushing Greater Rifts with solo. Yeah, so Esoteric Alteration will be on the very edge of the build, which will be around level 55 to 65. This will be the very, very high end of the build. The build will not be effective past 60, 65, especially not solo. In a group you can wing it, but you cannot do 65 solo with this build. It's just it won't work. So don't even try it. Just use Arcane Orbits or Twisters or whatever for those gem ups at those tiers. But at mid 50s, toughness is going to become an issue, so this will be an adjustment, the Esoteric, for damage reduction. For the low end of things, when you're beginning, you're doing those 13, 17s, 21, 25s, etc. Jumps of 4 each time, you'll need to change your gear slightly. You won't be dropping any gold, so this will not do anything for you, right? So instead, you're going to use the Tal Rasha's Brace. You're going to use, yeah, Sages is not going to work, right? Monsters don't drop DBs in Greater Rifts, so you're going to use the Firebird 4-piece, which is awesome. It gives you an extra life, and it increases your damage, fire damage, stacks on enemies, etc., etc. There you go. And you'll complete the Tal Rasha's set with the gloves, because now it's a free slot. Now you have this is an extra. You'll still get the Tal Rasha's full set, so instead of that you'll use the new Orb of Infinite Depth. This will increase your damage by up to 20%. It rolls between 4 to 5 increased damage, 4 to 5%. I got the 4%, it's an ancient one, it's pretty good. Doesn't really matter all that much, maybe a little, but yeah. This will give me 16% at maximum stacks, and since always I'm hitting enemies and I'm always explosive blast around enemies, you know, so I'll always get that constant damage buff. But also 4 stacks give me 60% damage reduction buff, so yeah, 15% damage reduction, stacks 4 times. So explosive blast, OP with this infinite Orb of Infinite Depth. So change that, you'll use the benefit of the Firebirds 4-piece, and the Tal Rasha 6-piece that way. That's the adjustment. That's it. For Gritter Rifts, at a certain point, this actual build is going to require slight adjustments as well. And also, I want to mention here another alternative to use in the armor piece. Since you're always on the move, the Sexy Pants of Mr. Yan, right? Hexing Pants of Mr. Yan, these will reduce resource cost, increase resource generation, and increase your damage by 25% while moving. And you might want to use those in the cube. The only alternative, the only time we'll use that is if somebody is actually using those themselves. You know, 3 members of your group have Nemesis Bracers. Why not get the benefit of the Hexing Pants and not, yeah, just don't touch the shrines. You know, you can do that. I thought it's very important because it's a nice alternative actually to use over here. You could use that. But basically, the weapon in Geom and the Ring of Rogue Grandeur stays the same. Nothing changes. When it comes to the actual build, as you start raising the difficulty, what you could do is instead of Arcanaut, you can drop Arcanaut and drop the movement speed, because movement speed will have less value the more HP monsters have, because it takes you longer time to kill them. Moving between packs will have less and less value because you're not doing it as much. You'll be doing it less and less and less. And I'm talking about the higher end of things, those 55s, 50 plus generally, 50 plus. Depends on the group. Takes slightly longer with this build, right? When I say slightly longer, I'm talking about like 2.5, 3 minutes. This is extremely fast build. I want to emphasize. We've been doing that yesterday, and I mean 56 gems. We've been doing, I don't know, maybe 100 of those rifts, maybe more. 56. It's like 350. Divide that by 4, right? We did a lot of. We did about 100 greater rifts yesterday, something like that. Around 90 or so. We leveled up all these gems. So, you know, it runs pretty quickly. It's like, I'm talking about slightly slower. The difference is between a minute and a half or 1 minute to 3 minutes, 3 minute 20, 3 minute 40 on the higher end of things. So either way, it's a pretty swift and awesome build. But there will be slight adjustments. At a certain point, you'll feel, and I always say feel your wizard, but at a certain point, you'll start feeling that your wizard is not doing enough damage. Right? So what you'll be doing is you'll want another extra stack of that cold, right? You'll be missing this 500%. This will come around level 45 or so, which is roughly Torment 10. Makes sense. But around that area, you want another stack. So you want that cold. Instead, what you run, Diamond Skin. Instead of Sleek Shell, because movement speed, like I said, is gonna lose its value, you'll run Prism. Scramble, you're not going to use that. Instead, you're going to use Frost Nova with Frozen Mist to get that additional stack. Arcanaut can go away, because once you have Diamond Skin Prism, you don't need Arcanaut anymore. Instead, what you put the Teleport over here. I find it extremely comfortable to put Teleport over here with Calamity, and that way you're spamming 1, 2, 3 and right-clicking for Teleport. Right, 1, 2, 3, teleporting with right-click. And remember, the buff of Ingeon will be up still most of the time, if not all the time, and you'll get a bunch of cooldown reductions. So this will be infinite, right? That's the whole idea about the build. That this will be infinite. You just spam 1, 2, 3, spam 1, 2, 3, and right click for teleport. You'll proc the 4 stacks, right? You have 1, 2, 3, and 4 stacks of Tal Rashas, stacks of elemental exposure, and you'll be doing shit tons of damage, destroying enemies. And over here, you'll still want an armor, right? So you can either run Scramble, or you can run Energy Armor, which is an awesome option. Once you feel like that, yeah, at this point in time, you feel like you need to do more damage, and you'll feel like your survivability is questionable. So the slight changes will be Energy Armor with Force Armor that will keep you alive. Force Armor is an awesome armor spell. Instead of getting one shot, all these grotesques and molten explosions, especially when they all happen all at once, what will happen is you'll take 33% of your damage, 35% of your maximum life in damage instead of getting one shotted, right? And of course, the amount absorbed cannot exceed 100% of your maximum life. So you still need a decent HP pool, and still need the toughness. You still need the all resist, etc., etc. But instead of getting one-shotted, you'll just take 35% damage in life, and you'll regenerate that pretty quickly with everything that's been going on. Globes, life per hit from the explosive blast, etc., etc. So you use force armors when things start to get rough. When you start doing this, the thing is you'll do bunch of You'll do bunch of gems low level, and then increase the level, and then bunch of gems increase the level, bunch of gems increase the level each time, and then at a certain point you'll start feeling that damage is slightly low, and your toughness is slightly low, right? So you want to increase your damage, you want to increase your toughness, you want to do some adjustments. For me, I started using this around level 45-50, right? Around level 55, I started having some more toughness problems. So around level 55, I was like, okay, I'm taking the esoteric alteration, I'm taking this thing out. I don't need Wreath of Lightning anymore. I'm taking this thing out, using esoteric, and boom, problem solved. And also, around 60s, I replaced Unstable Anomaly for Blur. Right? Unstable Anomaly for Blur, and things went smooth. I did not die. And even if I did, I still had the 1 extra life from the Furbirds, and yeah, from the second proc of the Furbirds. I think that pretty much covers everything. I think that guide covers pretty much everything, but if you still have any questions, I'll be glad to answer, guys. I will. Yeah. So this will be like the ultimate build at the very end of things, around the early 60s, late 50s. And past that, you will stop using this build, because this build will not be good for level 70s, etc. Start using Arcane Orbits with Unstable Scepter, Delseer, etc., etc. You can use Twisters for the higher end of things. But for the lower Greater Rifts, up to level 65, it's kind of, yeah, very, very, very high end. I would say early 60s. Is the very high end of things. This is the most tough the build can get, with the esoteric alteration, with the blur, and with the force armor. That gives you tremendous amount of toughness, and you'll be able to survive through anything. So make sure to do that. And that would be it, my friends. That would be it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was quite long, maybe 23 minutes or so, but I hope you learned a thing or two. And if you did like it, make sure to share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. I constantly upload content. Come to the stream. I'm probably streaming right now, so come and check the stream. We're probably live, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and see you guys next time. Bye bye for now. Thank you for watching. See ya.